Okay folks, so let's get these swatches done. It is later on the same day, so my nails look a bit of a state. The polish had started to chip, and one of my biggest pet peeves is chip nail polish. It really stresses me out, so as soon as I get a chip I have to take the lot off. So they're in between polishes at the moment. So I'm going to be swatching the products on my hand and forearm. I don't have any lotion down or primer or anything like that. It's just a clean dry arm, and I've also got no cream or primer or anything to make my, you know, alter the swatches in any way on my hands. They're just clean, just being washed. So the first thing that I'm going to swatch is my face palette, and I'm going to start with the bronzer and then go across like this. So let's get these swatches done. So this is the bronzer, and I will be putting the names of all the shades that I'm swatching on the screen, as because these are now in the palettes I can't tell you the names of them off the top of my head, but I will put them up on the screen. So this is the bronzer, and that is amazing for a bronzer swatch. Picked up quite a bit of product. It felt super soft and silky. It's really good pigment, and the colour is going to be great for a contour shade, so I'm really excited about this. Next I'm going to swatch the yellow blush, and this is definitely going to be the first blusher that I use on my face. I can't wait to see what it actually looks like on the skin. Again, that picked up a lot of product. It felt super silky and soft to the touch, and I think that's going to look so good, so interesting on the skin. Next, this is probably my favourite blusher that I picked up. I just love an orange blush, and this is a true orange. I didn't pick up too much, like I didn't rub my finger in the pan too much this time, because after swatching these two I've realised how soft the powders are and that they do pick up quite a lot. And for not actually picking up much on my finger, that's an amazing swatch. So I already know that I'm going to have to be quite light-handed with these, especially this one, because this is going to, my skin's so fair, this is going to be super vibrant, I think. That is a lovely red wine shade, but it does have a little bit of pink to it, which I can see sort of in the tail end of this swatch. But yeah, I'm really impressed with those swatches so far. So now I'm going to wipe these swatches off and we'll look at the Velvet Dusk palette. Okay, so I've wiped the swatches off my hand, and I've made sure that my hand is dry. So now I'm going to swatch this beautiful palette. This is the pre-made Velvet Dusk palette, and I just am obsessed with this already. I haven't even swatched a single shade, but I just absolutely love these tones. These ones I can tell you the names of the shades because they are on the back of the sleeve. So let's get swatching, and I'm just going to go across and down. So the first shade is Limbo, which is a beautiful champagne shimmer, and that feels quite thick. in the pan, and it picks up amazing. I hadn't heard the best thing about their shimmer formula. People seem to prefer the mattes over the shimmers, but that looks pretty spectacular to me, I must say. It's really pigmented, opaque. It has amazing shine and reflect to it. Perhaps one that would benefit from having a glitter glue down first, because it is that thicker texture. I don't tend to use glitter glues, I never remember, but I always apply my shimmers with a finger, which I always find helps sort of adhere the shadow to the lid anyway. So that's the shade Limbo. Next is the shade Covet, and this is like a reddy pink duochrome. It has a gold bronze shift to it. Oh, again, that one, lots of shine. You can see that gold reflect. My hands do shake, so I am sorry about that, but that is gorgeous, really beautiful. And there's still a lot left on my finger. You can see pink in that swatch on my finger as well. Okay, next we have a matte shade, and this is the shade Runaway. This is one of the shades that I'm most excited about. It's one of my favourite type of shades to wear. It's like a murky, pukey green, and this also feels super soft and silky, picks up really well, and that's a lovely swatch. You know, I didn't dig in there. You can see how softly I am swatching these. I am very, very delicate with my makeup. When I'm applying it as well, I don't dig my brush in there. I'm very, very light-handed, and for a light-handed swatch, that's pretty fabulous. The next shade is this gorgeous navy blue called Deceit. Again, super soft. These mattes feel amazing. They feel almost waxy, creamy to the touch. And that is beautiful, super pigmented. You can see that I've got remnants left on my finger, and you can see I didn't dig in at all. I did build up that navy blue ever so slightly just to make it more opaque, but these are amazing so far. I'm really impressed so far. Let's move it slightly. Okay, so the next shade is this brown called Hollow, and this is a great workhorse shade to have in a palette. That's a nice brown, super pigmented, very much a neutral brown, great for adding definition. These two would look absolutely fab together, so really excited about that. I know it's just a brown, but it's a beautiful brown. Next is the shade Inertia, which is this beautiful deeper teal. And if you can hear a funny noise, Ray, my pup, is snoring just behind this cushion, but that is amazing for a blue matte shade. That's swatched incredibly, and I really was super gentle with that. So far this is looking incredibly promising. So next we have the shade, and I don't have my glasses on so I'm squinting. This is the shade Esteem, this gorgeous light tangerine kind of colour, or would you say that's more of like a butternut squash sort of colour? That is beautiful. That's swatched amazing. really super duper impressed with that. Next, I'm really excited about this one. This is the shade Revolve, which is a deep purple with a blue reflect to it. I barely touched that shadow. It feels very thick, and I knew right just dipping my finger in there that it was going to be super pigmented. And the reason that I did these swatches at night with my ring light was so you'd be able to capture the shifts better than filming by the sort of dull sunlight that we had earlier. But yeah, this is looking incredible so far. I'm really excited about this. And the next shade that we have to swatch is this gorgeous taupey metallic called Lithium. And this is a 90s inspired palette, so obviously a nod to Nirvana there. But this is gorgeous. My favourite sort of everyday lid shade, and that could have gone on forever. That was a beautiful swatch. So it has like a deep brown base and then a lovely like champagne-y gold reflect to it. And Ray is snoring up a good one, so I am sorry if you can hear him. Okay, next, my favourite colour, green. This is a beautiful green metallic with yellow reflex in it, and this is the shade Cryptic. And oh my god, look at that. That swatched incredibly, considering how much I actually rubbed my finger in the pan. And that is stunning. Look at that. Oh my god, this is like my eyeshadow dreams come true right here. And then I've got two mattes left. So the next shade is this gorgeous purple matte called Undone. It's looking a lot more vibrant in the camera than it actually is in person. It's looking much more of a bright blue purple on camera. It's more of like a damson sort of colour in person, but that's a gorgeous swatch. Purples are notoriously quite difficult to formulate, and that's swatched no problem. Then we've got the shade Corrosion, and this is a gorgeous rich red chocolate brown. Oh, that is gorgeous. There is some purple in that, placing it next to the shade Undone. These would pair amazing with this on the lid, and perhaps this one on the inner corner. So that, I'm so impressed with how they've swatched. That's the whole of the Velvet Dusk palette swatched out. And now what I'm going to do is, rather than wipe off these swatches, I'm going to swatch the rest of them on the other side of my arm, so that we can compare some of the colours that I've got in this palette to the ones in my custom palettes. Okay, so now we are on to my fully matte custom palette, and again I'm going to swatch like this, and I'm doing them, as I said, on the other side of my arm so that we can compare some of these shades that look slightly similar. So obviously I mentioned in the beginning that I wanted these shades and the Velvet Dusk because I thought they would work so well together, but seeing some of them in person I was a little bit worried that some of them were too similar, so we'll be able to see from these swatches. So the first one is this gorgeous light navy, and that picks up amazing, feels the same as the others. and you can see that there is a difference. This one is more of a true navy with a hint of like purple to it, whereas this one is more of a true royal blue, but those will pair beautifully together, and that swatch for a blue was amazing. So next we have this gorgeous raspberry shade, which looks much brighter in person than it did on the website, but actually swatching it in person it's more subdued than it's looking on camera, but that is gorgeous, and that swatch was amazing. Like, for the amount that I picked up, to have such a pigmented swatch is pretty darn impressive, to be honest. Then we've got this gorgeous peachy colour. This is stunning, and please excuse the state of my nails. Again, that's swatched amazingly. It's like a salmon peach, that one is. Really unusual in my collection, and I think it's going to pair so nice with some of these other colours. Okay, and next we have this lovely murky darker green. Oh, that's stunning. Wow, that was a pigmented swatch. That was impressive and totally different to this shade and this shade in the Velvet Dusk palette. Much deeper and more of a like a true khaki green. Okay, next we have this pale orange, which I want to compare to this one. Okay, they are similar, but there is definitely a difference in them as well. This one is much more yellow, whereas this one is much more of a deeper, more true orange. But again, amazing swatch. Really am astounded so far with the quality of these mattes. Then this next shade, again, I picked as a nice, like, unusual transition shade. A gorgeous light, light cool tone. It's sort of in between a sand colour and a grey, or like a concrete colour, a wet concrete. That is lovely. I'm swatching on an odd angle and an odd finger, so that one is looking a little bit odd, but that is a beautiful, beautiful colour. So impressed with these. I know I keep saying it, but really am blown away by the quality of these mattes so far. Okay, next up we have this gorgeous, and let me just adjust a little bit. So we now have this gorgeous periwinkle shade. Oh, wow. That is an amazing swatch for a pastel. Beautiful. That is gorgeous. That'll look amazing with this shade and this shade, but I think the tones in this one, like the purpley blue, work with that periwinkle shade really well. That's gorgeous. Then we've got this lovely like brick red shade. This looks stunning. Wow, look how opaque that is and how well it's covering up that bit of my tattoo. That is gorgeous. Again, different to this one here. This one has got way more red in it, and this one is much more purpley in tone. So yeah, that is gorgeous. And then next we're moving on to the purple in my palette, which I want to compare to the purple in the Velvet Dusk palette. So gorgeous. These just swatch so well. I just hope that they perform as well on the eyes. And this one is definitely a warmer purple. This one's more of a blue based cool toned purple. I'm not sure how well that is going to pick up on camera, but yeah, there is definitely a difference. Okay, and then this one is one that I am super excited about. I'm trying to adjust. So this is this gorgeous, like, pukey yellow. Oh, wow, look at that, that's stunning. And totally different to this one. I'll just get a bit more on my finger. So much brighter and more of a, like a limey green colour. Incredible. And then we've got this beautiful deep, like a burgundy, but this one is much more of a red tone. This one has got a lot more purple and brown in it, and I want to compare it to this shade here. So actually I'm going to swatch that one here. Now it's kind of a strange place, but I am running out of space. So you can, I wanted to swatch it next to this one because in the pan I thought they looked really similar, but they don't. They are totally different. This is definitely more of a brown and this is more of a red. And while there is a similarity to this one, this is way more saturated, has way more, in comparison to this one, this looks really purpley in comparison to this like deep red wine. But then when you compare that one to that one looks way more purple than that one and makes that one look much more red, which is really strange, the way colour plays off each other. But they are similar, but they're more similar in real life than they looked online, but they're different enough that I am still happy. I'm still happy with my choices. And then the last one is this gorgeous bright teal, and I want to compare. Oh, you can see they are totally different. So this one actually looks much more like an aqua teal than the one in the Velvet Dusk palette, which looks way more green. And that is that palette completely swatched. So all my beautiful Lethal Cosmetics mattes. And then because I know that none of the metallics that I've got are similar to the ones in the Velvet Dust palette, I am going to wipe all these swatches off and swatch all the shimmers along the front part of my arm. Okay, and this is the very gorgeous all shimmer palette that I created from Lethal Cosmetics. So again, I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to put the shade names on the screen. Some of these I do remember the names, but just to be on the safe side, I will just put them on the screen. But starting with this gorgeous icy blue, which looks white in the camera, but it is definitely an icy blue. This reminds me of Elsa from Frozen. Oh wow, that is so pretty. I'm going to get a little bit more of that just to make it a little bit more opaque. I've got a lot of texture on the back of my hand because my hands are quite dry, and I've got like all lumps and bumps on the back of my hand, so I just want you to be able to see that properly. And look at that reflection and shine. That is going to be so gorgeous on the inner corner. Next is this shade that I actually didn't have in my palette. I saw a swatch video from somebody and saw them swatching this, and I was like, that is that is stunning. So I actually took a shade out of my palette to make room for this one. There is still a load on the Lethal site that I have my eye on that I think are really beautiful, but I think I have enough to keep me going for a while. But that is gorgeous. That is like a blue with a bit of green in it. I don't know whether you're going to be able to pick it up. Like, you can see it's got like a deeper turquoise blue, and then you can see all that like green shine in it. On the swatches that I saw by the other person that got me to want this shade, it looked like it had got a pink reflect in it, but all I'm seeing is that beautiful like bright turquoise blue. Stunning. Then we have this gorgeous, oh, that is lovely. This is an icy mint metallic that has a lot of gold in it. I'm going to build that one up again a little bit. These feel so silky soft to the touch, but unlike my recent shadows that I got from Glam Shop, they felt super soft and silky, but they were, you could feel a texture to them, whereas these are thicker but there's no texture to them, if that makes sense. Like, even though this one looks a little bit flaky, you can't feel any like grittiness or texture to it, and once it's applied to the skin, there isn't any like chunks or texture showing. It's just really super smooth, and that looks gorgeous. And having this one next to this one, you can see this one is way more blue than turquoise, which, it's like I say, it's really interesting how putting one colour next to another changes the way that an original colour looked. So next is another very sort of turquoisey tone, so it will be interesting to see what that one looks like next to these other two. And this one does have more of a, wow, this one has more of a gritty texture to it, so there is a lot of sparkle in this one. Oh my god, Wow, you can see that one has a bit of texture, but once smoothed out it disappears. But oh my god, do you see that? Can you see that bright green shift? Oh, that is incredible. Seeing these now swatched next to each other, they are very, very similar in colour. They're just a totally different formula. Like this one is more of an almost a standard like metallic, whereas this one is like a foiled shade, but the colour of them is quite similar. It's like if this one and this one had a baby, it would be this one. But yeah, that's kind of blown my mind a little bit. That's incredible. Okay, and next we're going into some pinky purples. So this shade I'm so excited about. This is like a fuchsia pink with a purple reflect, and that one is quite thick. Wow, look at that. You can see the blue reflect. That is gorgeous. And I don't know if you're seeing, there you go, there's the blue reflect, and you can definitely see it on my finger, but that's gorgeous. Look at these are amazing. Like I say, people sort of downplayed the metallics and said that the mattes were the, you know, the way to go from Lethal, but I think these are stunning. Okay, they're not like Glam Shop sparkly, but they are a totally different like formula, and you're gonna get a completely different look from these. This one I know is the shade Synth, and this one definitely was thicker and more textured, but that is a gorgeous shade. That is a lavender with an icy blue flip to it, and it just makes my arm look wet. And you can see those two. So that is more like what they're going to look like on the lid. Amazing. And you can see these two in the pan. You can see how different they are to these two. Just by swatching them, there is quite a lot of disturbance, and you can feel that when you swatch them. They do feel thicker. This next shade I'm super excited about. This one feels really smooth and silky. That's lovely. That's a gorgeous shade. That's like a burgundy metallic. Oh, that's so nice. And look at that shine. Okay, now we have this gorgeous deep purple metallic, and again this one feels the same as this, super soft and silky, and that's just going to leave a lovely shine. How pigmented is that for a metallic? That is gorgeous. Oh, these are making me so excited. And now one of my favourite looking ones. This is the shade Vertex. Oh, yes. Yes, yes. Put that all over me from head to toe. Oh, wow. That is, oh, those two together is Halloween. But yeah, that's amazing. and you can really see the blue in this one now next to the others. And then we're on to this gorgeous rich dark green. Again, this one feels super soft and smooth like these last three. Wow, that is pigmented. That's amazing. And then this one, I cannot wait to do a look with this one. Oh yes, look at that. That is a beautiful navy. This is one of the more textured ones, but it has that gorgeous shift to it from like your dark smoky navy to that like icy blue reflect. And you can see the varying textures in these shadows. And the last one, another one I'm super excited about. This one is way more smooth, and this is a metallic charcoal. Wow, again so pigmented, and that has almost a minty green reflect to it. Oh, look at those. So those are all of my Lethal Cosmetics metallics from my custom palette swatched. What I'm going to do now is, although I'm in like the direct shine from the ring light, I am going to shine my torch on them to see if we can see some more shifts and pick up on the different textures. So oh my god, these are amazing. Look at that shade Synth. The minty lavender. And then you can see the blue and the purple sparkles. And that's it. That's all of my custom palettes and my cheap products and Velvet Dusk palette from Lethal Cosmetics. So thank you so very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was helpful if you are thinking of placing an order with Lethal Cosmetics. My experience has been hands down one of my best when it comes to makeup purchases, and the fact that this came from overseas, amazing quality, amazing, you know, the website, the palette builder, the whole premise of it is just so well done and so you know, user friendly. So I definitely think there will be future purchases made from Lethal Cosmetics. I am really on an indie makeup kick at the moment, doing lots of research and learning about different brands so I can make informed and sensible consumer choices. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of product that I'm bringing into my collection, whilst also adding to it and keeping that fun alive. And indie makeup is kind of a new arena for me, and something that I'm so excited about, and it's opening me up to a whole new world of makeup and style of makeup, and the, you know, the business ethics and things behind it. So it's been super interesting and I'm really enjoying it. So like I said, thanks so much for watching. Please do like, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would mean the absolute world to me. I'm absolutely so ashamed of the state of my nails, so I'm going to sort them out now. Keep loving yourself, keep loving each other. I love you. Raymond loves you. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.